Hello and welcome to another episode of Blue Alpine TV. In today's episode, we will look at some kind of technical analysis and we'll decide whether we can decide the entry point for the next bull market. We'll look at what exactly happened with Tether and the whole controversy around it. We'll quickly jump to China and Japan to look at what kind of applications are coming out of those countries. And then we'll look at what the next steps with Bittrex are. First, let's jump right into the market. Market is quite bloody, another bloody Monday. We're looking at 10 to 15, 20, maybe some even 30% drops. And it doesn't look like recovery is coming anytime soon. All is driven, or a majority is driven by Bitcoin itself. So if we jump into the more interactive chart here, we can see that the Bitcoin price has been dropping steadily today. So we're around, I think, 8.5, and we've dropped to currently 7,200. And you can really see, so here what you see is the candles of buy and sell orders combined. And the thing is, on a very, very basic technical analysis level, and I don't claim to be an expert here, you want to see more green candles. So you want to see more buy orders than sell orders. Then you will actually see that the chart will go back up. And this is currently not the case. So currently we're looking at a lot of people still selling, a lot of people still being scared of what might happen next, whether this was it, Bitcoin is going to die, and all of these things. So there's a lot of uncertainty still in the market. There's a lot of fear in the market. And one of the reasons why this is actually the cause is this whole controversy around Tether. Now, for those of you who don't know exactly what Tether is, so Tether is technically an altcoin that is supposed to be backed by the US dollar. So one of the biggest cryptocurrency exchanges called Bittrex actually issued USDT, which is the Tether, as a coin in order to trade any kind of altcoin. So if you would send any kind of money to, for example, Bittrex, you would get USDT, and with USDT, with the Tether, you can actually buy any kind of altcoin on those markets. Now, in theory, that sounds okay. Now, the next step is, in Tether's case, one Tether should be backed by one US dollar. So the idea is that if I pay with my US dollars onto Bittrex and do a transfer there, that the equivalent of one Tether will be created if I send one US dollar. Now, this all works really well in theory, but it seems like, and these are the rumors which kind of have been or not been confirmed yet, is that Bittrex has been printing those tethers without actually having the backup of the US dollar. And this is actually raising a lot of concerns. So industry experts have raised concerns over the last few months in relation to the increase in supply of Tether, which correlated with rallies in the market. Now, there are rumors in the market currently that by issuing Tethers without actually having the backing from a US dollar equivalent, that the Tether was one of the main reasons why the Bitcoin rally started and all these altcoins went crazy the last couple of weeks. And that this is actually also the reason why we see this huge drop coming down, or this correction, because people realized, oh no, Bittrex actually did something that's not correct, that's actually illegal, and the US regulators are currently looking into it. They have, Bittrex has received the subpoenas to check into what exactly is happening with those tethers. And this is the main reason, or one that a lot of people believe to be the main reason that the whole system might implode because of this Tether controversy. In our case, we say the most important part is, first of all, don't leave any money on the exchanges. So whether it's Tether or Bitcoin or any kind of altcoin, we would never recommend you to leave any kind of money on the exchanges. That's the first point. Second point, I would stay clear as long as the controversy is going on, I would still clear of Bitfinex and Tether. I know that, for example, Bittrex is also dealing with Tether, so it's not the only, Bitfinex is not the only exchange, but as long as this is not really cleared up, it's best to actually not hold any hard currency in Tether, because you don't really know what the value in Tether is. If we look at the value of Tether currently, it should be around $1 or 90 cents, 98 cents. So that will actually, or should actually not really affect the price that much. But still, I wouldn't keep my Tether on an exchange in any case, should something happen and should these subpoenas or any kind of regulators come into the market and really mix things up, right? So, and I think we have to observe this story. I'm not sure whether the implosion of Tether can actually cause a lot of problems. We will see. We'll have to wait for this. But currently, there is the one regulator. The subpoenas are still going on, so there's still people looking into this issue, and we will keep you posted on when this changes. Now, next story is a bit of a more funny and happy story. Chinese internet giant Baidu releases Cryptokitties style game Lechi Gu Go. As you've maybe have heard, there was this game called Cryptokitties, which was basically like a Tamagotchi, but based on the Ethereum network. So you were able to create a crypto kitty, and each of those kitties had like unique physical attributes, and depending on those you were able to trade, buy, sell, breed, whatever, and collect those crypto kitties. This actually caused a lot of problems to the Ethereum network because the network got congested, which was kind of an interesting practical test for the Ethereum network. I think that the network is better now since a couple of days, but still. In China, now there is an alternative. So this new game is doing the same or similar thing, but is doing it with dogs. So you can create, breed, trade dogs with different physical attributes, and then you can sell them. Now, what is not clear is whether it will be based on the Ethereum blockchain or whether it will be on a different network. And while this seems like a weird news story, I think the really interesting part of this story is that more niche games and niche products will come up that will use blockchain technology. And I think this is really necessary in order to bring more attention to the ecosystem. I mean, imagine if someone really likes this kind of games, he or she will actually make sure to understand how he or she can trade this and buy this, and whether it is a cryptocurrency or any kind of different currency needed to buy or sell this. The person will actually use their time and actually spend time and resources in order to understand and trade these things. And we will bring more people into the ecosystem that may not be coming with a pure financial interest or a trading interest or an investor interest. So this is actually quite interesting. I think we have to keep an eye on all of these games or decentralized apps, and really need to see what comes next year, and more importantly, how much people actually will use these things. Speaking of mass market adoption, so Japanese airline confirms future Bitcoin payment option in the works. There's a small low-cost airline in Japan called Peach Aviation, and they have confirmed that they will allow Bitcoin payments. Now, they wanted to do this in December, so they had to delay their plans. Could be for any kind of reason. Maybe the price played a little bit overall, but what they still are saying that they will bring Bitcoin payments to their platform. It's just not clear when, so they are talking about March currently. And this actually plays into this big idea of Bitcoin being still the major player in the market. So we can see here 36% Bitcoin dominance. So we can see that the dominance over the other cryptocurrencies is still 36%. There has not been, I think Ethereum was 1 or 2 times, was actually quite close to dethroning Bitcoin as the #1 cryptocurrency. And the tendency is actually for this to get lower. So Bitcoin in the beginning had close to 100%, 90% dominance, and this started to become lower and lower. Now with new technologies coming up and new blockchain projects coming up, this will actually decrease. So there is a big chance that Bitcoin will be dethroned at some time in the future, or maybe Bitcoin will stabilize and will just stay as a store of value while all the other altcoins are going through crazy volatility. It's not really clear. I think what is really a good strategy here is to keep Bitcoin as a hedge. So keep Bitcoin in your portfolio if you believe that long term it will still be a store of value. But keep an eye on those numbers in terms of dominance, because as soon as this flip happens and Bitcoin's dominance gets lower, there is a real strong chance that other coins will actually start dethroning each other, and then you will see a lot of wild stuff happening with altcoins. Now, the next news story plays a bit into this. Bittrex, one of the biggest exchanges when it comes to buying altcoins, is actually thinking about adding US dollar support. So the CEO, Rahul Sood, on January 31st has said that the Bittrex exchange will be opening up USD trading to the majority of its customers. Now, what exactly majority of its customers means, nobody really knows. What will be happening, pretty sure, I am about, I say 90% sure about this, is that Bittrex will actually open those USD dollar exchanges to altcoins. Meaning you can probably buy, let's jump right into the market. You can probably buy IOTA or Dash or Monero directly with US dollar. And currently this is not possible. This is also why once the Bitcoin price is dropping, almost the entire market is dropping as well. Because all of these other coins that you're seeing in the market, with the exception of some, are coupled to the Bitcoin price. So as soon as you decouple these coins from the Bitcoin price, what exactly will happen? So they won't be as dependent on the price, both gains and losses, as currently. And they actually will build kind of their own ecosystem when you trade them from fiat to altcoin. So I think this will be really, really interesting, and especially one of the most interesting things in 2018 to watch out. So Bittrex, Binance, all of these, well, Binance probably won't, but all of these exchanges that deal directly with fiat, even Coinbase, which currently only has 3 or 4 currencies listed, will start to add more altcoins to buy directly from US dollars. Now, we've already seen this potential with Robinhood, the crypto app, and they also allowed, I think, up to 16 cryptocurrencies to buy directly with US dollars. So this is definitely one of the big trends. So will it be the dethroning of Bitcoin, or will it be the decoupling from the price of Bitcoin and Bitcoin coming more of a stable price of value? That, I think, is the big question, and that's why I think you should still keep Bitcoin as a hedge, but should think about which of the coins could be next. And this plays again into the investment thesis we talked about yesterday, and we'll talk about more in the future. So it stays interesting. Again, as always, don't get too phased by the prices. We don't believe in price. We don't invest into price action. We invest into fundamental analysis. So make sure you subscribe on bluealpineresearch.com. Read the research papers, and depending on your research, make sure to invest into the long term with a diversified portfolio. And with that, guys, I want to end today's episode. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.